Hello, we are live here from the stables in Boskoop, the Netherlands, and tonight Johnny Campbell is playing for us. Johnny, what can you tell us about yourself?
I'm Johnny Campbell from a place called Huddersfield, which is near Manchester in the UK, and I play mainly my own songs and some traditional songs of Northern England.
And how do you come to be here in the stables? You've heard about us?
Yeah, this is part of a 3-week tour across 2 weeks in Germany and 1 week in the Netherlands, and I came across this through a few folk musicians in England.
Okay, well, we're very happy to have you here on our stage, and we're looking forward to your performance tonight, and good luck with it. Thank you.
Thank you.
As I was going to Derby, was on the market day, I spied the finest ram, sir, that was ever fed on hay. And indeed, me lads, it's true, me lads, I never was known to lie. If you'd have been in Derby to seen him same as I. The horns of this ram, sir, they reached up to the sky, and eagles made their nests on top. You could hear the young ones cry. And indeed, me lads, it's true, me lads, I never was known to lie. If you'd have been in Derby to seen him same as I. The tale of this ram, sir, though you could not tell, went all the way to Ireland. It rang St. Patrick's bell. And indeed, me lads, it's true, me lads, I never was known to lie. If you'd have been in Derby to seen him same as I. Then all the women of Derby came begging for his ears to make them leather aprons that would last them 40 years. And indeed, me lads, it's true, me lads, I never was known to lie. If you'd have been in Derby to seen him same as I. The man that killed this ram, sir, was up to his waist in blood. The boy that held the basin was washed away in the flood. And indeed, me lads, it's true, me lads, I never was known to lie. If you'd have been in Derby to seen him same as I. Took all the men of Derby to carry away the bones. Took all the women of Derby to roll away the stones. And indeed, me lads, it's true, me lads, I never was known to lie. If you'd have been in Derby to seen him same as I. And indeed, me lads, it's true, me lads, I never was known to lie. If you'd have been in Derby to seen him same as I. And now my song is over, I've got no more to say, so give me port and brandy and I'll be on me way. Now, it was about 6 or 7 years ago that I managed to do my first solo tour across the east coast of the United States, and ended up performing in a place called Wilmington in the state of Delaware, which is about 2 hours south of New York. And if you've ever had the misfortune of going to Wilmington, it's a very interesting place. And down the main strip, down the main street, where my concert was happening, it's like a Wednesday night is the show, Wednesday night around 6 o'clock in the evening. And it's very normal in the United States to have these early evening concerts around 6 o'clock that kind of finish at about 8 or 9, something like that. And down that main street where my show was happening, there were security guards and police with machine guns and pistols on display, protecting that one street where my concert was happening. I think they overestimated my popularity. I think it might have been the first show they might have had there for about 30 years. But it was at that moment that the person who was putting on the show for me decided to tell me that this is the place with the highest murder rate in the United States. And unfortunately for me, I was there for another 3 more days. So after the show, I went back to where I was staying overnight and locked myself in the room for 3 days and wrote a lot of songs. And this is one of those songs, and this is a song about friendship, solidarity, looking after each other, which was exactly what I was wanting to feel at the time. And I tried to write this song in like a 1950s, 1960s style. American travelling song, like a Bob Dylan, Woody Guthrie kind of vibe. And it's just called Wanderlust. I've been traveling a dusty road where Woody and other folks did go to earn $1 or a dime, hoping folks are kind, where the outstretched arms of solidarity lie, and the ever-changing leaves match the lives we lead, going down this long and dusty road. Backwoods, through city and through town. It's there they say that New York wears the crown, but the jewels of the East are found in dirty streets, where the gamblers of your soul they do not roam, and a gentle lilting breeze dances through the trees in Delaware and Pittsburgh, Newark town. Yeah, my pockets are light and my heart is the same, from Massachusetts, Maryland and Maine. Yeah, my pockets are light and my heart is the same, gentle as the wind that sweeps the plain, gentle as the wind that sweeps the plain. And one day I'll find that golden track. To the ones who keep the demons off my back. And in times of misery are a distant memory, where the rivers they run wild and free, and a true lover's kiss is purer than this, the whiskey that flows through these veins. Yeah, my pockets are light and my heart is the same, from Massachusetts, Maryland and Maine. Yeah, my pockets are light and my heart is the same, gentle as the wind that sweeps the plain, gentle as the wind that sweeps the plain. Massachusetts, Maryland and Maine. Yeah, my pockets are light and my heart is the same, gentle as the wind that sweeps the plain, gentle as the wind that sweeps the plain. Yeah, my pockets are light and my heart is the same, from Massachusetts, Maryland and Maine. Yeah, my pockets are light and my heart is the same, gentle as the wind that sweeps the plain, gentle as the wind that sweeps the plain, gentle as the wind that sweeps the plain. Gentle as the wind that sweeps the plain. 500,000 English pounds for this old house and a piece of ground. You and your wife have always planned to settle down in Cotswold land. You best come in, you best sit down. It's such a long drive from London town. Would you like some tea now while I tell the reasons I will not sell? This stone-built house that you call nice was gained at far too high a price for me to gaily sign away, while others toiled for night and day. They hammered bluestone by this yard. They found the rent when times got hard, and they lived and died beneath the sun, tending the fields you're gazing on. They're all gone, but as for me, the wild hare still runs us free, and at dusk the badger travels still ancestral highways on this hill. I am as Cotswold bred as thee, still need these fields and trees, and I need the soil that bore my race, that holds their bones beneath this place. You said you'll pay 500 grand for this old house and a piece of ground. Well, London's about 4 hours for me, but in your 4x4 you'll do it in 3. And at the very start of this song, I'm going to do a Scottish fiddle tune called The Sweetness of Mary, which I got from an accordion player called Phil Cunningham and a fiddle player called Ali Bain from Shetland. So this is The Sweetness of Mary going into my song Complaint. gather round you, roving lads, take heed of my complaint. For trudging on the open road may blight your heart's content. In bothies, barns, or anywhere until the day lay by. Let sorrow be your faithful friend where company proves kind. As sunrise shone down screaming skies, disclosing many's a scene, I spied upon the youthful pair conversing on a green. Take heed of my complaint, my love, with all your heart and will. This grievance I will tell to thee, this grievance I will tell. Cursed be those cold dark winter nights that came so swift around. Cursed be the tree that sheltered me as I wept there on the ground. Cursed be those dour damp dreary nights that are now at an end. Springtime I will soon embrace, remind myself again. Come gather round you, roving lads, take heed of my complaint. For trudging on the open road may blight your heart's content. In bothies, barns, or anywhere until the day lay by. Let sorrow be your faithful friend where company proves kind. Let sorrow be your faithful friend where company proves kind. Let sorrow be your faithful friend where company proves kind. I'm going to do a cappella song now, which a cappella translated from Italian means I can't be asked to play guitar and sing at the same time. So this is a song written by a guy called Con O'Driscoll, and Con O'Driscoll lamented the death of the great Irish and British pubs. Over the last 30 years, I think, pub landlords in the UK have thought it'd be a great idea to put things inside the pub that would distract you from the real reason that you go to the pub. And as we all know, the real reason that we go to the pub is to go in there and buy a drink, meet your friends, get drunk, talk rubbish, make friends, make enemies. That's the whole point about the pub. It's about community. But over the last 30 years, pub landlords have thought it'd be a great idea to put things inside the pub that would distract you from the real reason that you go to the pub. And these things are like TVs in the corner, dartboards, pool tables that distract you from the real reason that you go to the pub, which is to meet your friends, buy a drink, get drunk, talk rubbish, make friends, make enemies. That's the whole point about the pub. And one of the things that's killed it is the pool table, and this song laments why that is. May the Lord upon high, who rules the sky, look down on our pubs and bars, at the women and men all seated within, neglecting their pints and their jars. The crack it is bad and the atmosphere sad, every man has a face like a mule, for all he can do is to grab an old cue and start playing that game of pool. When I was a boy, 'twas always me joy to go to the pub each night. There were arguments, scraps, and killings perhaps, and everyone thought he was right. There's badgers and dogs and men from the bogs, young fellas acting the tool, but now there's no crack, for every man Jack has his arse in the airplane pool. To the rural alehouse after milking the cows, every customer made his way, and there he would dwell and drink till he fell, while the fiddles and pipes they did play, the jigs, the reels, and the rattling of heels, polkas and slides were the rule. But now there's no chance of a tune or a dance, for everyone's playing the old pool. Well, This pool you will find is a game designed for foolish, illiterate louts. You put in 4 bob and you pull an old knob and a big shower of balls they come out. They're placed on the table and then if you're able to knock them all into a hole, more money goes in. You start over again and you lose every bob of your dole. In the Yorkshire Free State, all the people are beat from watching and playing this game. In their necks they have cricks that no doctor can fix, and their backs, their shoulders are maimed. Their arses protrude in a manner most lewd from being hoisted aloft in the air. Their eyeballs are sore and dripping in gore, and they act in a manner most queer. So if you meet a young man whose face it is one, and his eyes have a vacant stare, his jawbone is slackened, his head is thrown back, and he can't tell a cob from a mare. His nostrils dilated, his brow corrugated, his manners like those of a fool. On your shirt you can bet you have just met a man that's gone plain mad from pool. Thank you, Bill. Now I'd like to do a traditional song from Merseyside. Merseyside is the area around Liverpool, and naturally, being a song from Liverpool, it's a sea song. It's not a sea shanty, but it's a sea song. And with these kind of songs, it's very hard to kind of, I suppose, like attribute them to a specific or particular place, because if it's a sea song, by their very nature, they are like transient songs, and will have variations anywhere and everywhere. So this is a song called Homeward Bound, which is not the Simon and Garfunkel song, but a traditional song called Homeward Bound. So I hope you enjoy it. Docks we bid adieu, Kate and Polly and Sal and Sue. Our anchors weighed and the sails unfurled, we're bound halfway across the world. Hurrah, we're outward bound, hurrah, we're outward bound. The wind it blows from east northeast, ship she sails 9 knots at least, and the girls stand on the docks and cry, while there's grog we'll never say die. Hurrah, we're outward bound, hurrah, we're outward bound. At last the captain comes aboard, sails are bent, we're manned and stored, and the Peter's hoisted at the fore. Goodbye to the girls, we'll see no more. Hurrah, we're outward bound, hurrah, we're outward bound. One day the men on the lookout sail till the wind and he will shout, there's a pilot standing out from the land, it's up on deck comes every man. Hurrah, we're homeward bound, hurrah, we're homeward bound. To Liverpool docks, pretty young girls come down in flocks, one to the other you'll hear them say, here comes Jack with his 10 months pay. I see he's homeward bound, I see he's homeward bound. And when we get to the Dog and Bell, there's good pies there for to sell. In comes Grouser with a smile, drink me lads, it's worth your while. I see you're homeward bound, I see you're homeward bound. And when your money's all gone, be bothered no more to be lent. In comes Grouser with a frown. Get up, Jack, let John sit down. I see it outward bound. I see it outward bound. Then poor old Jack must understand. Ships in the docks are wanting hands, and he ups his gear as he does before. He says goodbye to his native shore. I see he's outward bound. I see he's outward bound. At Liverpool docks we bid adieu. Kate and Polly and Sal and Sue, our anchors weighed and the sails unfurled. We're bound halfway across the world. Hurrah, we're outward bound. Hurrah, we're outward bound. Hurrah, we're outward bound. Hurrah, we're outward The word roving in English means to kind of travel around, wander without aimlessly, but with no direction. But it's a good word. It's not a bad word. To rove, to go roving, is not a bad word. And this is a song inspired by that, called "A Roving I Will Go." Done me time in Huddersfield and Halifax as well. The life that was meant for me I'd rather serve in roving I will go. Collier's hands these'll never be, and the farmers neither shall. For those days are past and gone and sold out from the land. Roving I will go. Let us sing those songs of loss, the stories of old times. The words will ride the gentle breeze forever in our minds. Roving I will go. Let the fiddle take the air and sing with heart's delight, with the north wind firmly at your back and the stars for candlelight. Roving I will go. Some foreign land, some far off distant shore. I won't return till I've made me name, I'll be dead forevermore. Roving I will go. So cast the shackles from the mind and join your hand with mine, with the north wind firmly at your back, for your tea will make in time. Roving we will go. 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 Thank you, Bill. In 1649 to St. George's Hill they come. The diggers came to show the people's will. Landlords they despise, clergy they defied to reclaim rightly what was ours. Through courage, through might, embodied the people's plight. Their homes and crops raised to the roots below. The struggle was not in vain, we'll sing of them again in his quest for a right to roam. Rising plumes of acrid smoke bellowed out those words you'd choke, a plan to liberate the working folk. When Rothman heard the call to them all and for a stroll, free the heather from the bondage of a few. For just one day a week on a Sunday for to seek, bid adieu to the clag for Moreland Day. The struggle was not in vain, we'll sing of them again in his quest for a right to roam. Over Pikefell, Clough and Moor, amongst the bracken I adore, I think of those who have gone before. Wainwright, Wordsworth and Macaulay, Coleridge, Hill, Clare, many more, though these lines permit to name a few. So I'll roam where I will, over mountain and hill, lie where the sun-kissed rock entices me. The struggle was not in vain, we'll sing of them again in his quest for a right to roam. So I'll roam where I will, over mountain and hill, lie where the sun-kissed rock entices me. For 2 days a week, maybe more, now we shall seek in his quest for a right to roam. For now 2 days a week, maybe more, now we shall seek in his quest for a right to roam. So I'll roam where I will, over mountain and hill, lie where the sun-kissed rock entices me. For 2 days a week, maybe more, now we shall seek in his quest for a right to